He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo, Haribo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome.
OGEbeats.com.
Kind of an early day today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda, Hare Krishna.
OGE Beats.
Gauranga Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Nityananda, Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Gauranga Nityananda, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, turn your mics on and let's do some japa here together. Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama.
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare Rama Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare
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 Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama
Rama, Hare Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Rama Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare Hare
Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Hare
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 Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama Rama Hare Krishna
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare.
Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Rama Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama
Nityananda,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare 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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Nityananda,
Rama Hare Hare Hare
Nityananda,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Nityananda,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Rama
Nityananda,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Shri
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Chaitanya,
Rama Rama
Shri
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama,
Shri
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare
Rama
Chaitanya,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Shri
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Shri
Krishna
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 Chaitanya,
Krishna Hare
Chitaya,
Hare
Chitaya,
Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Chaitanya,
Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Sri Krishna
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 Chitaya,
Sadhu
Shri
Nityananda
Krishna
Yadvaita
Krishna
Gadadhati
Chitaya,
Vasavi Yoda Bhakta Vrinda
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Chitaya,
Rama Rama
Shri
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
Chitaya,
Hare Krishna Hare
Shri
Krishna
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 Chaitanya,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Shri
Rama Rama
Krishna Chaitanya,
Rama
Krishna Chitaya,
Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Chitaya,
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Shri
Hare
Krishna Chaitanya,
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
oh
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare, Rama Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama.
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Radha, 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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama.
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama, Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Ram, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, 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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Hare Rama,
Chaitanya,
Hare Rama,
Shri Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare
Chaitanya. Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna, Krishna,
Shri Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Krishna Chaitanya.
Krishna Chaitanya.
Nityananda,
Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya.
Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya.
Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya.
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri
Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Bravo Nityananda.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya.
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Shri Nityananda.
Nityananda, Nityananda,
Nityananda. Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Gauranga. Gauranga.
Guranga, Guranga,
Gauranga.
Guranga,
Gauranga. 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 Gauranga.
Gura, Guranga.
Gora Chandra. Gora Chandra. Gora Chandra. Vishvambara.
Chandra, Chandra.
Vishvambara. Vishvambara. Vishvambara.
Nimai Pandita. From Nadia. Nimai Pandita from Nadia.
Nimai Pandita. Nimai
Pandita from Nadia. Guru Chandra, Guru Chandra.
Krishna, Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama.
Krishna, Krishna. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri
Lord Chaitanya is amazing, and I mean amazing. He's super, super duper amazing. Grace place. Welcome. Lord Chaitanya's amazing grace place. Amazing grace place. It's true. This is, Lord Chaitanya is considered, was the greatest incarnation the most magnanimous and the most merciful and the most jubilant. If you look at all the incarnations, this is why I tell you, everybody's got to take up this Vaishnava lineage. I mean, you guys are missing out on TikTok and everywhere else. You Vaidhi Bhaktas are really missing out, man. This is so interesting. This is so deep. It's so fascinating. It's so wonderful. The Lord God revealed everything here in this incarnation. This is why it's so rare. He's the most merciful of all incarnations. He's the most magnanimous, freely giving, munificent. You see all these names: magnificent, munificent. Of all incarnations, the most liberal. Nobody, to get this bhakti, you couldn't do it. That's why he threw the brahmachari out of the class, because he wanted to demonstrate that you can't get this by austerities. What they're teaching, it basically is wrong. You could say it's right according to, I mean, that's what they teach about austerities, about attaining, because people have that, everybody is less intelligent. You can't help not being less intelligent until you get devotional intelligence by worshiping God, truth, Krishna, Christ, the beloved, the one, with this ecstatic prema devotion. You don't have the right mind. You don't have the right intelligence. You don't have the clearest and most powerful of all paths unless you do that. And even if you did worship that way, it might not be time for you to give it out. Like with Prabhupada, they had this kind of bhakti, but it was not the time. Okay? So this morning, Johan was talking about prophets, and I was thinking about that. It's interesting, Prophet Muhammad. They make a big deal out of it. I mean, to be honest with you, what's the big deal? I mean, this is about the same thing with Prabodhana's preaching. What's the big deal about the incarnations even? What's the big deal about Kapila Deva, Raha, and all that? Lord Caitanya has appeared. That's the big deal. We'll go with the big deal. That's the best deal. All the other incarnations even give a better deal. Same thing with those who are the devotees of Lord Caitanya, the real associates. What's the big deal about anybody who came before that, unless they're an associate of the Lord giving this? What's the big deal? People think, Prophet Muhammad. Did Muhammad give any of this bhakti? No, nowhere to be seen. Nothing. Rules, regulations, all that stuff. What's the big deal? What's the big deal about anybody that's not giving this bhakti? Wasn't that the big deal with Lord Caitanya? He gave the bhakti. If you look at it like the incarnation, well, what's the big deal about Varaha? That's God. What's the big deal about Kapila Deva? What's the big deal about Lord Shiva? What's the big deal about Jesus Christ? I mean, think about it. It's just logical. What's the big deal about Lord Caitanya in comparison? See? Because he gave the most. We should be meditating on this incarnation. If you want the most freedom, if you want the most mercy, if you want the most spiritual power to deliver others easily, then you should be focused. I don't care whether you're a Christian, whatever it is. This is the incarnation, and that's just the truth, man. I mean, it's even from a logical, clear perspective, it's the truth. That's all sentimental. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. And same thing with Prabhupada. Prabhupada would be pleased if you came here, just like Jesus Christ was pleased I came to Lord Caitanya. See? But he's not so pleased if you stay on the Vaidhi path, because you're not really it's a mini lifetime path. Wouldn't he be more pleased if you come here? This is the big deal now. And that's the same thing with people in this group here. This is the big deal, not what Prabhupada taught and the Vaidhi thing and all that stuff. This is the big deal. You want to really please Prabhupada? Otherwise, you're sentimental. You're not logical. You don't think like Prabhupada. You want to learn to think like Prabhupada, you better come here. I'll teach you. That's my job. That's why Balaram, he doesn't. He's less intelligent. He thinks he knows Prabhupada's mind. He doesn't know it at all. You have to have the same kind of bhakti that Prabhupada had. You have to be an associate of Lord Caitanya and Radha Krishna like Prabhupada to know the mind of such a person. You want any chance to know the mind, you better come here. Charya Dev, you think he knows the mind of Prabhupada or any of these gurus? What's the big deal? Let's do that. Let's do the big deal teaching. What's the big deal about a Charya Dev or Radhanath? Are they given this kind of bhakti? This is the big deal, isn't it? If you can do that with the incarnations, why can't you do it with the gurus? Right? Or the prophets? What's the big deal? About these gurus. Why are you making such a big deal? They're no big deals. This is the big deal. This is the best deal, isn't it? From a logical perspective, everybody should hey, that's the lesser deal. You should be coming here. This is the big deal. That's the preaching of Prabodhana. And that's why we revive that. But unless you worship with the Lord with ecstatic love, with prema, you cannot understand what I just said. Unless you hear it here, it won't make any sense to you. See? Won't make that's why people, they read, if they even have a desire to read Prabodhana stuff, and they don't understand it. Well, you want to understand it, you come here because it's in action. What's the big deal about any of those gurus? Because they're not given this. This is like they say about me. What kind of service have you done for Prabhupada? Well, we awaken ecstatic devotion. Well, what is that? That you don't even give it. You don't care about ecstatic devotion, which is the most important thing in Krishna consciousness. It's life's ultimate goal, and we're giving it out like on the order of Prabhupada and Krishna and Lord Caitanya, like he did 550 years ago. That's the big deal. Now, that's pretty liberal, isn't it? You're Narayan Raj. What's the big deal about Narayan Raj? What's the big deal about Radhakund Babaji's? You're just all sentimental, materially sentimental. Was he gave you the promise of many lifetimes on that path, and you get here, you can get prema in this lifetime. It's being given out, and you had to work your butt off for it. You got to chant 1 lakh. You got to follow all the Ekadasis and Nirjals, and don't eat this, and don't do this, and don't do that, and follow all these rules and regulations, lots of them. And it's going to take you many lifetimes to get what's being given here for free, regardless of what you eat or don't eat, drink or don't drink. What's the big deal about anything other than what's here, really? I mean, you interested in life's ultimate goal? Isn't that what it said? Do you believe in Prabhupada's books? Do you believe in them? Chapter 23, life's ultimate goal, love of Krishna. The ultimate goal universally for everybody is this love of God. And we're giving it out, faster than people can handle it. Their false egos are rebelling here. They get the love of God and the false, no, and they cry and they, whine and see, faster than you can handle it, right? Right, that river? Krishna wants to let, all you have to do is just continue to let go of that false ego, man, that wants to trip you up, lie to you, cheat you, all these things. That's all the false ego ever does. And the more you do that, the more you stay in bliss and live in bliss. The Lord's already gave himself to you, So now you got the divine inner conflict. Goes for everybody here. If you're having little problems with the mode of goodness even, because that'll trip you up also. I have no faith in any of the modes, man. That's what I'm here to teach you. I don't have faith in any of those things. I mean, I was with, that lady here. Got a first-hand thing. Motivagan, nice person, very great person. But, man, attached to dogs, and all that stuff, man. I had no faith in that, man. And that's what undermined her in that sense, is faith in that path. She couldn't abandon her opinion, see? It's secret. Oh, but Lalita she'll work on her a little bit. We have her ways. But that's it. You see, attachment to the, yeah, right. Well, whatever. You got strong attachment to these demigod worship stuff, astrologies. They believe in that. You don't need, the only meaning of spiritual life is Lord Chaitanya's grace, man. That mercy is here. It's everything. You know, transcendental mellows is everything. To pick up the name of Krishna, and relish that, man. In great bliss, and all these revelations and realizations come. You think like God. You understand, man, I see Lord Caitanya. You become his friend because you do what he does and you understand his mind. You know, you understand why he tastes the mellows of the name Krishna. Who else does that? Does the Prophet Muhammad? Has no idea about this stuff. Any Christians you know, they don't have any idea about it. Well, a little bit maybe, but not to this extent. See, we're harmonizing with the frequency, with the vibration of Lord Caitanya. You know, the greatest avatar that's graced this planet in 4,320,000,000 years. On the 28th Divya Yuga cycle. I bet you don't know what that is, TikTok. That's Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga. You know, it's a long time, just one rotation. This 28th rotation, then Lord Caitanya comes and Krishna. Very confident. And so why shouldn't I be glorifying this, huh? I should be doing more. I'm not doing enough. I'm not, you know, making it clear enough. It should be so clear that everybody in the ISKCON, whole world of ISKCON should be piling in over here. Because this is the most liberal, the most spiritually powerful, the most spiritual benedictions, the most life's ultimate goal is being given on a gold platter. And everywhere else, you're busting your butt to get a little something. See, that's, hey. Funny, boy, he's coming regularly. You notice that? That guy's getting taste. He's a bumblebee. Yeah, he's talking about himself being a bumblebee. He's buzzing around a lot there, Fani. That's great. I noticed Shama Sundari came for a bit too. That's nice too. Yeah. Yeah, you got to come a little bit regularly because, you know, even, you know, there's some verses I was thinking about I'll read the verses here. So if anybody is still here. So keep this in mind, everybody. Okay, this is chapter 4, the confidential reasons of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So just to be a spoiler alert here, the thing. I'm spoiled, so I just want to cut to the chase. So the confidential 2 reasons. He came to taste these mellows, and to taste these mellows of bhakti, you have to have the spirit, right? Otherwise, you can't taste the mellows. It's just, you're doing religion. You're doing that practice, devotional service and practice. You get the spirit. That's called the mercy of the Guru. You get Bhakti Lata Bij. See, now you got the spirit. See, now you can begin to relish chanting the names or hearing the names with attachment and taste. See, it's spiritual taste, and it just grows more and more and more. That's the path. That's it. That's all you have to do. Taste the name. You're finished with all these other things. See, Prabhupada even taught that. He says, you know, the rules or regulations are enforced till you get taste. And then you just keep watering the bhakti creeper. So that and so the Lord came to taste this and at the same time share that taste with others. Share that flavor with others, you could say. See? And everything's in that because that's where true love is. Isn't everybody looking for true love? Come on. That's the greatest and the greatest experience of life is to fall in love, right? Isn't it? Isn't love the greatest thing? Isn't it praise and everything? Well, that's called love of God is the greatest of all loves, the purest of all loves. And the greatest expression of this is to taste, and the greatest dimension of this is to taste these condensed mellows of closeness through engaging in pure devotional activities. Okay, headed by chanting. It's the greatest love, is to relish closeness with God through chanting his name. The name of God is praised in all scriptures as the greatest thing. Those are saved who are called upon the name of God. And Lord Caitanya just clarified all these things. It made it really clear. See, that's what you get here. You think Acharya Dev can give you this? It's not even in his dreams. He doesn't ever speak. He doesn't understand this. Because you got to taste these mellows to teach it. Oh, there's no possibility you'll have the realization. Jaipataka, all these Radhanath, all of them, they just teach, some level of, not even transcendental knowledge, but you just be equally disposed with everything. Offensive people are like that. Ramachandra Puri was like that. He was equally disposed to everybody and everything, even his guru. See, that was tripped up. And the people who leave here, they make it to that point of this Brahman a little bit. They get a little taste of that. They become equally disposed to everybody and everything, and they give up the service thing, service to guru. No, they end up being, no, I'm even equal to my guru. I'm the same and probably even better. It always comes into that. And that's how you fall down, which is good for you. Learn your lesson. You think you never give up your bhakti guru. Prabhupada taught that. Anybody where you get real bhakti lata bij, most people never got it from Prabhupada. Meena didn't get it. Look at it. She got it here and she gave up her guru. Fool number one. Mahavira too. Same thing. My ex-wife also. You never give up, and they did. And went for something else. They got bewildered. That shows you, man. That's what I say. Stay close. Don't be foolish. Maya's, ready to take you down in ways you can't even imagine. She knows all the holes. So we got to become mature in bhakti. Stay in that circle, man. Don't think you can handle everything, on your own. It's family. It's about family, man. If you stop losing affection for the family members here, you're lost. You're back on the Mayavadi thing. That's the Mayavadi. You see, you know what aparad is? Vaishnava aparad is? People don't understand this. Vaishnava aparad and Guru aparad is you lose affection for the Vaishnavas and Guru. And that happens here. See? And then all of a sudden, because here you start bonding with people spiritually, and then they break it by falling, that's the Judas thing. Judas betrayed Jesus. I remember when my ex-wife left for Narayan Maharaj, I felt it right in my heart, Krishna. I felt betrayed. I was feeling this betrayal thing. I thought, what is this? I mean, it was intuitive. I didn't know. I just felt like this betrayal, as I really felt, I understood what Jesus was talking about, being betrayed by a disciple. And see, he trusted the Pharisees. My ex-wife did a kind of a Pharisee trip, trust the rules and regulations, a many lifetime guru. And she already had that. I remember, was that painful, man? Spiritually, like I felt that betrayal thing, But anyway, that happens now, that's why the Lord has provided us with a family here. And if you're having problems with the family, it's all on you. Don't worry about the other person's problems. No, it's on you, person. It's on your inabilities. That's all. And you just keep saying, "Oh, I'm just," yeah. Or that maybe you need distance or something. It's all part of the purification. So you just do what you can do to stay in the game, Think of this as a game, a game of getting purified, and it comes from within and without too, in our interactions like this. And the test is, what is the test? Jesus told, they will know you're my disciples by how much you love each other. Okay? Love each other in his groups. Because, because, the neophytes always fight. They had the same thing going with Lord Caitanya. And that's why in Chaitanya Bhagavat, you read the verses, it talks about the neophytes are fighting. They're always fighting, just because it's just stuff. And as you get purified, it calms down a bit. Yeah. So, okay. So life's ultimate goal, and here's the plan, what I wanted to say. So, Lord Caitanya says, I shall taste the essence of all these rasas, and in this way I shall favor the devotees. That's beautiful, man. I shall taste the essence of all these rasas, the different relationships, taste the essence of them, of all these rasas. In this way I shall favor the devotees. See? And so when you're a devotee, he's tasting it through you. Even in your relationship, he's tasting these rasas through you, as you. This is the thing when you get really intimate with the Lord. See, that's how we're favored. The Lord gives us that ability. We don't have this on our own. And if your guru doesn't have it, he can't give it to you, man. He can't. You won't get it. You can go and you can worship them sentimentally. Oh, Gurudev, give me mercy. And he doesn't know what the mercy is, and you don't know what the mercy is. The mercy is just what I told you. Is the mercy that I got, you get. The mercy I got is to taste these mellows because the Lord is tasting these mellows. We're tasting together. It's a picnic, a Vrindavan picnic. And if you're not like that, you're not a Vrindavan resident. I'm sorry, man. Take your cookies and eat them over there. You're not the one. We make the ones here. This is a cookie factory. All you get, if you're not the one, all you get are the cookies. Here you eat the cookies and you get the other. You get the real cookie, the Lord. Yeah. I shall taste the essence. I shall taste the essence of all these rasas, and in this way, favor the devotees. That's why you got to be, that's being a devotee. So how do you become a devotee? You got to become a devotee of a devotee. You just got to follow the path. And if you're not, it shows. Then you'll probably leave like some of these, the Minas and all that. I guess she's not a devotee, but she loves Prabhupada. See, back into hypocrisy. Oh yeah, we love Krishna, and here we show you Krishna. We show you the Krishna's ecstatic devotion, Radha, right? And he's conclusive truth, right? And you don't like it. Oh yeah, no, I don't like you. No, Krishna. That's called hypocrisy. See, we're here to get the name and the feeling together. See, you got to get purified for that. Get it? You get here out of hypocrisy simply by association. See? Then that's why the false ego fights for a while until you just jump in, right? Lalita, you just go in, surrender fully, and then you're blissful, happy. Oh yeah, I can just relax into this. Relaxed path, relaxed fit. Then by hearing about the pure love of the residents of Raj, see, haven't I been talking about this pure love? From experience, even? Showing the difference between this kind of worship, this kind of worship and these kinds of gurus and the other kinds of gurus. See? Hearing about the love of the residents of Raj, very intimate, very ecstatic. See, and thus you're hearing this is so confidential. I shouldn't be speaking these things. This is only for liberated souls, and they're not even qualified to hear these things. But that's Lord Caitanya. That's the order I got. Okay? So then by hearing about the pure love of the resident of Vraj, devotees will worship me on the path of spontaneous love. See, you're hearing all these things and you start worshiping the Lord. You become attracted to this path. There's no other way. That's why it's not by renunciation that Narayan Raj preached, or any other Vaishnavas or ISKCON gurus or whoever they are, Radha. It's not by renunciation. It's not by the austerities they preach. It's not by their pious deeds. It's not by prasadam distribution. It's not by distributing Prabhupada's books. No, it's by the verses, right? It's through the devotees who chant the holy names with great ecstatic devotion, through those devotees, man, because they tell you these intimate things. If you're willing to listen, now you're following the real path. You want to say something? Go ahead, Lolita. No. Yeah, now you're following the real path. The path like the book says, right? According to the book. Don't say Gohari doesn't follow the book. I go by the book. Because if the Lord's really inside you, Radha and Krishna is really inside you, and Lord Caitanya is really inside you, then you can go by the book. Otherwise, there's no possibility. See, you got to have a devotee where that love of Krishna is fructified. And the seeds go in you, just like a fruit, man. It's got seeds. Well, how are you going to? There's no fructification of this love of Krishna in any of those gurus I mentioned. Otherwise, where's the seeds? It didn't even drop into one person. There wasn't one seed that went into any of the Narayan Raj group, any of the ISKCON group, any of the Radhakund Bhakti. I didn't see any seed go in there. But man, I see the seeds here. Here, they go in and they're already fructifying in some devotees. So that's the real path, isn't it? Why don't you want to do real in this world? Don't you want the real path? Don't you want the most intelligent path? Don't you want the most juicy path, the quickest path to Vrindavan? That's here. You come here for 30 days, I'll work my butt off to prove it to you, and it won't even be work. I just have fun doing it. And it'll be the most powerful preaching you ever heard. I'll prove that. We'll prove it. I'm just, it's just like, it's like holding up Govardhan Hill on a pinky for me. These gurus, they have to work their butts off to give a class, man. They got to study all the books and memorize all the verses to impress you, wear the right dhotis, get the right rubber stamps from their gurus, the right fire sacrifices, the amount of bananas in the fires, so that you believe in them, and then you don't get this. All I do is relish mellows, chant the holy name, and because the Spirit has been given to me. That's all I do. And everything comes from that. That's called spontaneous devotional service. We improv, it's a great, spontaneously, everything. Spontaneous development. All you come as do is you hear, and by hearing you get purified. Then this awakens in you, and you become a spontaneous. Then you worship the Lord on the path of spontaneous love. There's no other way to get it except through these rare devotees like this. And then you become a rare devotee. You become, like Bhagavad Gita says, out of many thousands of self-realized souls, hardly one knows me in truth. That's a Lalita and a Johan who know Krishna in truth. And a Janaki, and who else? A Fanny, and an Amy. Okay? Talk about liberality. Oh, the more I think about it, wow, this is the best place to be, man. Where are you going to get this? Be one. Don't you want to be one of those hardly anyone, and you're not even self-realized when you come here? You know, or you'll be one of those hardly one out of the self-realized persons that know Krishna and truth, simply because you got the mercy of Krishna and Guru, especially Guru, because without Guru, you won't get Krishna. You got to finish the job. So the best thing that the devotees can do, and Radhakund Babaji's and Narayan Raj's, they come here. If you're all you did with them, those gurus, whoever they are, brings you here, oh, it's success. It's just what you needed to get here. But if it doesn't get you here, oh, you're not complete in your devotional service, and you'll take more births. And you know how you'll prove it? And you won't even know you prove it, but you'll prove it to us because we know Shastra truly. We just see you don't have the ecstatic symptoms manifested in you. Therefore, I'm sorry, you can't go to the ecstatic realm where there's ecstatic devotees. You need to vibrate on that frequency, right? You got to have that, you got to have those wings, man. You got your wings. You know, the wings, they vibrate at a certain. You ever see a hummingbird? Yeah, your wings are got to be like that. You got to have the bee buzz like Fani does. You know, buzz around, you know, on that vibration, high vibration. Yeah. See, so, you know, bottom line is you can test yourselves, man. Do you chant Hare Krishna like the devotees here? Many of them, they cry, they laugh, they choke up. You know, that's your qualification to enter Vrindavan. If you don't do that, you're taking more births, more sufferings. You know? Oh, we all suffer, right, with the body, right, Lilita? Got bodily stuff and all this, but this is it for the devotees here. So we have assurance even in, not only in our own experience of experiencing the liberation and that not even looking for that. I mean, I'll take it, whatever, you know, it's like, hey, Krishna, let's just get together every day. Oh, you want to go here, go there, do this, whatever, man, you know, let's just don't ever leave. Let's just communicate, man. Let's commune. Okay? And the Lord's thinking the same thing. He just wants to be with his devotees. That's Jesus taught that. Only the Father recognizes the Son, and the Son recognizes the Father. See, recognition. This is what we teach here, how to recognize the Father. Well, actually, the deeper Ras, how to recognize your most dear friend. How to recognize service, the highest, deepest service, the most pleasure for your dear friend. See? And beloved, and child even. That's everything here, man. Because you got to do everything. If you don't nourish Krishna, man, then you can't follow this path. This is gopi stuff. You got to learn nourishing the Lord. He's your baby, man. You know, all we do is to help deliver the baby, but he's, you know, in your charge now. Could you imagine, Lalita, if you decided, oh, I'm not going to feed the baby today, and her baby will cry. Or you take your baby over to these Vaidhi Bhaktas, you know, and the baby doesn't like it. It's just like, why'd you bring me here? Then Balaram's not a devotee. See, even though you're married to the person, this transcends all of that. Why'd you bring me here? I don't want to be here. I only want to be with my devotees, right? Isn't that amazing, Lalita, how this works?
It's unbelievable how that works. Very strong. He doesn't want to hear those vibrations, and I have this for a long time.
Oh, just a second. Go ahead.
He doesn't want to hear the vibrations. If I hear the vibrations of a Vaidhi chanting, already in 2019, I had to go away. I couldn't stay with Balaram. We could not chant together. It was not possible. Please go and chant somewhere else, because I'm going in another place. I can't hear it. It's painful.
The devotees, they transmit the transcendental vibration through the sound, through the sound vibration. And so you hear a Vaidhi chant, it's not attractive, because it carries their consciousness. Yeah, that's why you need to hear, actually, even Bhagavatam from those who realize about it. They taste the meaning. Like when I'm reading stuff, and Lalita also, when you're reading stuff, you're tasting the meaning and explaining the meaning. See, and that's great, gives great happiness to explain the real meaning of these truths, the essence of truth. That's the wealth here. And so that's why those who are not interested, they end up going somewhere else. What do we got here? They don't preach and teach, Shamaguri says, they don't preach and teach what you do because they don't have the ecstatic bhakti symptom. Yeah, so because see, this is fructified. Can you see why Prabhupada, it's just logical. Krishna and Prabhupada come, okay, after what? Many years of chanting in ecstasy. Who's going to do this work? Only a person doing it, and the idea of guru was never even in my mind. I was just relishing happiness, being close with. I had Chaitanya said it, the Chaitanya Bhagavat, the whole book. I just carried that. It was 4 books then. I had the part 1, 2, 3, 4. It wasn't one full book. It was 4. So I had this 4 books, and that was all I had. I just wandered around in ecstasy in India, even in America and India. Just relishing. And then people, my ex-wife came first, and then another lady, and then all this stuff happened. Prabhupada approved, and, Yeah, and so you have to have this fructification. Otherwise, Madhavinda Puri, right? You look at the procedures. These gurus can't teach you this. It's all in the book. They can't. They haven't realized. Okay? Madhavinda Puri. See, the way to understand the Vedas, when you're self-realized by the mercy, getting the mercy of love of God, Bhagavad Gita 10:10 verse, is by direct meanings and by inference. See, inference means this infers this, and you're accurate because the Lord shows you. See, so in other words, that's why people they don't understand these pastimes, and I explain the inference. Like, for example, Madhavinda Puri, he's getting ecstatic devotion, right? And he's crying, laughing, everything. And one day, Krishna appears and says, because of your ecstatic devotion, I'm going to appear in the world and deliver people. Okay? So people usually would just read over that and say, oh, very nice, and move on to the next verse, not understanding how deep and how important that is. Because that shows you that's where he became real guru for others. That's when he started preaching. That's when he started. See, the idea is the guru engages you in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He started to do that. He went to the village and he engaged the villagers in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. See, he said, first we got to do choppers and spades. See, I understand this all through inference. Otherwise, there's no way you can understand these things. That's why Lalita likes these things, because they're very deep. Okay? The deity is covered in the jungle. Let's take choppers and spades. So you help me, and we're going to go and uncover the deity. That's what we do here. The deity is uncovered. Many new people coming. We're taking choppers and spades and uncovering the deity in you. So it goes through the birth canal and is born in you, right? So you can feed it. So you know the kind of food to feed it, because the Lord will give you the food. It's very similar, like a mother, she's given the food, right, in her own body to feed the baby. Well, you're given this prema to feed your baby. It's a special kind of food. There's no other food for it. Yeah, this is a new, I mean, that's why I come here every day. That's why I even woke up early. I don't know, man, I couldn't believe it. I went to bed at 9 o'clock. Between 9 and 11:30, I woke up 2 times.
You was hungry.
Yeah, I guess, because I felt wide awake. Like, that's why I went on a little early, because I said, "God, this must be Krishna or something. Maybe it has a message for us or something." Yeah. He was wide awake. I mean, like, even the first time I was wide awake, I thought, it's too early. I went trying to go another, and then again. Yeah. Go ahead, Lily.
Some Christians, they also have this mood of that they are hungry, and the Vaishnavas have the mood that Krishna is hungry. But none of them has the mood that we both are hungry for each other. We here have the mood, I'm hungry for him and he's hungry for me.
Yeah.
That's the special thing of this part. That's the power of this part. That's the perfection.
Yeah, it's deep stuff. No, it's not a wonder why people don't understand us. If they did, they'd pee their pants. It's unbelievably deep. Oh, sorry about that. I'll wash my mouth now. So, no, I won't. That's not so bad. It could be worse. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. So choppers and spades, they uncovered the deity, and then they started to worship. He engaged people in the worship of the deity. But that's all. See, it's an external pastimes, but it's about the internal worship. So now they're worshiping the deity in ecstasy. See, they have to uncover the deity first, so you have the ingredients. This prema. That's like the mother's milk. See, so without it, you can't worship the deity on this weight level, so that it can grow more and more and more. So that's why Jesus said, you must be born again to enter the kingdom, to perceive the kingdom. But actually, more conclusive is Krishna must be born in you. See, so that you can perceive the kingdom. The kingdom is Krishna. I'm the bread of life, Jesus said. Well, Krishna's the bread of life. He's the bread, see? And the wine, you need the wine. The wine is the milk, or the wine, whatever you want to think. Whatever it is, if it's milk, it's still intoxicating, though. Yeah. So you need the bread, you need the truth, the name, and the pastimes, and you need the wine or the milk. It's interesting. They even worship the deity with milk. See, these are all inner metaphors too about the deeper. What I've said, nobody's even mentioned. This is our special gift the Lord's giving. These deep, real. These should all be in books, and these are scriptures, man. They're not. This is uncommon. These are what scriptures are made from. And they're right. Yeah, it's trippy. Okay, what else we got here for this? Then by hearing pure love of the residents of Raj, devotees will worship me on the path of spontaneous love. Listen to this, abandoning all rituals of religiosity and fruitive activity. You don't need it anymore. You don't need those things. See, now you worship on the path of spontaneous love, just by what I explained through this whole lecture. It becomes very simple. Yeah. And see, people that say, "Go, you're not following. You don't follow anything. You're not following the rules regularly." You're just neophytes. You don't understand this. Don't you see? I'm following the scriptures. I obviously, this kind of worship is on the path of spontaneous love because it has these attributes. Otherwise, I couldn't explain any of this stuff. It's all spontaneous. Spontaneous explanations, spontaneous teachings of truth, spontaneous ecstasy, everything. That's what this all is all about. It's like an improv show that we do here. I love it. Isn't that nice to come to an improv? You ever seen that? I took a class in college, improv. You know, we go to the class, you know, everybody up on stage. And then you move with the bodies of the different people. Here we move with Krishna's body, right? And the bodies of the devotees. And it happens because of the inspiration. See? No, that's why people can't understand. It's very difficult unless you're spiritually awakened or want to be. All you have to do is just want to worship like this. I mean, it's the greatest worship in the world. Wow. Where do you get such freedom? Where do you get such treasure? Where do you get such happiness? There's no, what do you think the Lord came here? He wanted to show you the greatest happiness in the world. You on TikTok, you're seeing the greatest happiness. You're hearing the greatest knowledge, the greatest truth, yeah, the greatest purification, the greatest path. What more do you want? There's money can't buy this. You know, all these rich people with billions of dollars, you can't buy this. You just have to come here. But because the Maya, the illusory potency, which you can learn all about here, anybody who comes, is stopping you. Is saying, that's not very important. This, what I'm teaching now and sharing now, is the most important thing you can do with your life. And the illusory potency, this called the Maya, you can call it the devil, whatever you want, doesn't want you to listen. Because that's what she does, unless you're sincere and something inside is drawing you to this teaching. Is inspiring you, like inside, if inside your heart you know this is real treasure, then maybe you'll come. See? Otherwise you'll think, let's go listen to another TikTok, you know, about somebody, you know, talking about how the world is going to lock you down and take away our material freedoms of our body and all that stuff, right? They're going to take away all our freedoms. A lot of TikTok things like that, right? That's more interesting. Or how to make a lot of money, all that stuff is to do with your material body. This is to do with your spiritual body, these teachings. And this teachings last forever. It's just like when Jesus said, heaven and earth will pass away, but not my words. These are the kind of words that don't pass. Okay? Your body's going to pass. Your material mind is going to go. Your material feelings are going to go because the objects of those feelings are going to go. See, the objects of your material feelings, as your wife, your husband, your children, they're going to go. If they go in this life or something, then you're broke. It's broken, the tie, and then you'll fill it with another son or daughter or lover or beloved or dog or cat, right? And then you get bonded with that. See, that comes and goes. This is forever. See, you bond with the supreme source, which we're all connected to, and this relationship lasts forever. This is the greatest treasure you can find. This is the greatest attainment in all of the universe. This is the greatest treasure. This is the pearl of great price, magnified 1,000 times that Jesus was talking about. This is the clarification of the pearl of great price that nobody even understands, not to this extent. All that you get here, just to stop scrolling and just listen up. It's good. 12 people sitting here steady. That's smart cookies. You hear things you never, you know, could you imagine being back when Jesus was here or Lord Caitanya was here? Or Prabhupada was here? This is even more because we're revealing more, right? Oh, Gohar, you think you're like them. Well, you know, the reason Jesus was the way he was because the same God that was in him, that was in Lord Caitanya, is also here, and I prove it every day, don't we? Don't we prove it? Well, I can't prove it on my own, but my Lord inside, He helps. We work together. There's the flouter, the one who blows the flute. And then there's the flute. That's what you see. The breath is hard to see. When you see a person playing a flute, it's hard to perceive what the breath looks like, but you can hear it. You can feel it in your heart, What?
You're fed anyway.
Yeah, This is a hard sell, man. I'm trying. I'm here selling Krishna, he's unattainable. He's unimaginable. You can't imagine what he's like. He's unattainable and incomprehensible. He's beyond our sight and vision and everything. And I'm trying to sell that Krishna. And I'm working. It's working too, because some people are buying. See, and that personality that you can't know, that's beyond everything, all material ideas and everything, you can get if you come this door. This is the door to get it. You enter this place, this paradise. Yeah, you can get the imperceivable. You can get the great mystery called God that nobody knows. You can have an eternal relationship. You'll become an immortal. All these elites are trying to buy immortality with their money or longevity. There's a guy on YouTube. You can check him out. His name is Brian Johnson, I think. Johnson or some Brian something. I think John might. Anyway, something. But anyway, this guy spends $2 million a year to reverse the aging process. He's just a rich guy. And he's doing everything, all these protocols and things he pays all these doctors and everything to reverse the aging process. All this work and disciplines to reverse. He wants to live longer. And he looks like he looks like a trans guy, real weird, kind of weird looking. He almost looks too young because he puts like 9 types of creams on his head every day, face and all that, and he does all these excessive things. See, this is what people do, when they don't have this, and he's trying to reverse the aging process. How about this is so ridiculous, actually, to put all that money and time. Okay, it's keep a healthy body, but this is the extreme you got when you don't have this. See, because here you become immortal. And you feel it even in this life. You taste this immortal nectar. You get the realization and literal understanding of your immortality. So what is the why be, I can't imagine. The guy spends from day he gets up all the way to the time he goes to sleep trying to reverse the friggin' aging process. Hours upon hours and hours. And has no time for this kind of stuff. Doesn't even think about it. Spends $2 million. Wish I had that $2 million a year. I know what I would do with it. Gee whiz. Tickets for everybody. Still waiting for that. They say maybe a couple of years, Bitcoin will go way up. So I don't know. Let's see if it does. If not, Krishna will send a millionaire here. Don't worry, we'll get our tickets. Krishna has got to. If Krishna sent a Ford to to Prabhupada, that Ford guy, had billions, he'll send somebody here.
Anyway, he sent you the technology.
Yeah, he sent me his technology. So I'm working. I'm just using it. It's easy, for me. It's for you guys. It's a big struggle. I don't know Bitcoin. I gave up even trying to teach it. But anyway, it's easy for me, and I just stay in. It just goes on its own, All the technology is going that way. Yeah. But anyway, what's happening now? I had this realization. Something Bill Gates said. These elites, they think we have too much freedom. See, we have too much. That's why everything that's happening in is to take away our freedom. But you know what? They're right. We do. We've got too much freedom bodily, and that's gotten people so far away from God. And the Lord does this sometimes. That's why he does it at these kinds of extreme times. This is all his game, I'm telling you, man. We're playing in his hand. So, and this happened in the 10th canto. These kings, they have all this freedom, right? That we're all, this is the only time in the age where there was so much freedom, like in this time, for the UK and for America. I mean, just before this time now the freedom's being taken away. Generally, there is a lot less freedom because the kings were more tyrants and stuff like this. There were a lot of slavery, slave stuff. So this has been a time when there's been more freedom than there's ever been. But people are going away from God. They're forgetting how important this relationship is. See, so those freedoms are taken away. So it happened in 10th canto. These kings were like that, very, free and all this and doing their thing. And they forgot about worship. And so the mode of ignorance, see, even in the mode of goodness, people are usually God-fearing, right? They worship God, they do the rituals and all that stuff. But anyway, that started to slack off. And the demons got more powerful. See, then passion, ignorance, the modes, passion, ignorance. And so then the kings got locked down. They got thrown in jail. They got limited their freedom. And they started praying then. Just like now, you notice a lot of people praying now? Because what are you going to do? It's very hard to fight. The technology is levered. There's never been a time when technology with AI, algorithms and all that stuff is a way to keep track of every person on this planet now, practically, because everybody's hooked into their cell phones. Then they want to put chips in us and all that stuff. So everything's being trackable and all that. So freedom is being limited, but can be useful. If you see, that's why if you come here, it won't really matter that much because you'll attain life's ultimate goal, right? What does it mean you attain life's ultimate goal? It's just like in the world, you get a goal, right? But in the world, you got to get another goal because you never fulfilled. And then you got to get another goal and then another goal. Why is that goal setting thing there? It's there because it's an illusion. You're looking for this, life's ultimate goal, love of Krishna. You're looking for this. But you don't know that. The Maya is saying, oh yeah, get this goal. You get the goal. Oh, get this one. Get this one. So the whole world, actually the wealthy people are goal setters. You become wealthy because you learn how to do disciplined and set goals like this. And then you get this goal, get this, and you start to usually become wealthy because you're disciplined. And a lot of people don't have that. They don't set goals like this, and they become more in the mode of ignorance. What do you call it? The demons, they set goals. Like all this stuff going on, this is all from their goal setting. They got goals. They got, we're on a timetable here. They got 2030, they got goals they want to reach by that time. See, goal setting. But they'll never be satisfied. Kamsa was never satisfied. Hiranyakashipu, he had all these goals to take over the world, never satisfied. They will never be satisfied. But we're satisfied. I'm satisfied. Are you satisfied, Lalita? Oh, man, nothing else we need. Yeah. The goal every day is Krishna, man. Let's go meet Krishna. Isn't that an amazing thing?
I can't bear the satisfaction, Guru Maharaj.
Huh? What?
I cannot bear the satisfaction.
Yeah, it's so great, man. Yeah, so this is life's ultimate goal. That's why Sadhu Sangha is the greatest place to attain the life's ultimate goal, because you hear it here, you see it here. Where else are you going to see it? Everywhere else, it's not. It's not even in religion. It's not in Vaishnavism because they keep doing goals, right? Go. You should see the GBC meetings, man. They have plenty of goals, lots of goals. Okay? What was the goals of Lord Caitanya and his devotees? They go out on Sankirtan every day and chant the holy name and just relish ecstasy of that. And people become devotees and attain life's ultimate goal, and then they would do that. Yeah, people in Jagannath Puri that went to live with Lord Caitanya, they didn't have any money even. They were poor. You know what they did? The Lord gave them the potency. They got so they can attain life's ultimate goal easily, right? They give the potency, and they just started chanting Hare Krishna and relishing mellows, and they had life's ultimate goal. And they didn't have any money. What are you going to do? So they went and begged at there was a certain gate for beggars. And they just beg for some food there and just keep chanting, relishing the name, or go to kirtans, like this. And that was it. They attained life's ultimate goal. I mean, you lose the motivation to be a fruitive worker. The world all this stuff is being built by people that have fruitive desire. Okay? So now you build the kingdom. See, you're working for the kingdom. That's all I do. I'm still getting used to this lifestyle because I wake up, this is it for me, like this. And then during the day, it's like, what am I going to do? It's like, because I'm from just used to, doing, like having a goal, building a business or this or that. Sometimes it's a little bit too like, I got to just, like, okay, all right, let's get orientated. I just, chant Hare Krishna and then everything. Oh yeah, I got to clean this or do that. Just do the prescribed duties. But this is really the thing, Yeah. I also being in an environment, see, everything's fruitive with people. You kind of pick up the energy a little bit too. I'm actually a lot less than I used to. I used to have to get away from food of people because I would pick up their energy and I would get a little, see? So, but the more you do the bhajan, the more that doesn't affect you. I know that it's you don't feel like we walk through the world now and it's like in a protective bubble. But you got to get to that stage. Not, it wasn't always that way. It was like, it would get more effective. And so everybody will become less and less affected by the world. Yeah, because Krishna comes closer. See, that's the thing, the closeness. It stays close. And then he moves with you and protects you. It's like, who is it? Raghunath Das. He's doing his bhajan. He was so close to Radharani, that she would be right there and protect him from even the beating of the sun. He would feel cool, right? He was sitting there doing bhajan right on the bank, a real hot day or something. Felt cool. Okay, so, I wanted to get to this point. So, Krishna manifests his eternal human-like form and performs pastimes to show mercy to the devotees. Having heard such pastimes, one should engage in service to him. Isn't that interesting? He comes and he initiates this. He comes in a human-like form to perform pastimes, to favor his devotees, to show mercy to the devotees. Yeah, the mercy is to give this attachment to him. That's what it's all about. That's mercy, is attachment to Krishna. That's that Bhakti Lata Beach. So he appears here as Lord Caitanya or Krishna and gives that mercy. And Lord Caitanya was more extensive. See? To give that mercy, favor his devotees. Then they were alive, right? They had bodies. He favored them, right? In person. But then the rest of the verse says what? Having heard such pastimes. That's for us. We should engage in that service. Do you think when Lord Caitanya was here that the people didn't keep going back to him? Every day they wanted to be with him, and they felt their devotional service newer and newer and newer. And you people are neglecting this. Watch out for this. Watch out for being too engaged in the world, because it says, having heard such pastimes, one should engage in service to him. Now, I don't usually like shoulds, but there's a reason for this should. Because hearing the word bhave, which means imperative, tells that this certainly must be done. Non-compliance is an abandonment of duty. See? So in Bhagavad Gita, it says for the self-realized person, there's no more duty. No more material duty. Not per se. You got to do your bodily stuff, whatever that is. But no real duty to worship and do religious rites and all that stuff. But this is your life. This is that new life. If you want it to grow, that's an abandonment of duty. It's on the matter of fact, Krishna is awakened in you. You've got a baby now. Now, could you imagine? Now you got bewildered by the world. You think, I don't have to feed the baby. That's an abandonment of duty. If you're a mother or a father, can you imagine you just let your baby not, you've got a new duty now, right? Because you've got a baby there, physical baby. Well, now you got a spiritual baby, and you don't want to feed that baby because you get bewildered by the Maya and all that stuff. Baby needs regular food. How is it going to grow? This is the thing that people, they don't understand. You're so lucky to get this potency, and you don't think it's any big deal. Oh yeah, well, great, I got the potency. I can go and forget about it. I don't need to become friends with the devotees. I don't need to become a family member. Oh, you don't want to become a family member? Oh, well, this is how you do it. You got to continue to water this bhakti. You got to associate with the devotees. They're here. The Lord has made an internet for us. Okay? Otherwise, I go by the book, and if you don't like it, you think, well, tell me what to do. Well, too bad for you, man. The book, this is true. I already see in my own experience. I've seen enough people leave here because they're stupid. They're foolish. They don't see the value of making friends with a devotee and becoming an actual family member of embodied devotees with the spiritual body here. How are you going to do it then if you don't develop a relationship with us here? How are you going to do it in Vrindavan? You don't even care about us here now? How are you going to care about them there? Some demon or demigod will attract you away from that because they're attracting you here. Some fruitive activities and stuff like that. Be careful. Yeah, that's my job, is to tell you by the book. Don't think you know so much. If you know so much, you'll act by the book. You'll continue to water. You'll make friends with the devotees. You won't neglect that. If you do, that's an abandonment of duty. Your Krishna will not grow. Your false ego will grow. You'll start to be, what do you call it, grumbler. I've seen it so many, enough to see. So you see how the scriptures keep us on the beam. Okay? And then later on, it's automatic. I mean, I can't imagine not coming. Look at me, I'm the guru. I come here regularly. Even if I had to work, I would come here at least regularly. Okay, so be careful, man. You've been given a great gift. You got to understand, this is a gift. And so you got a new baby, and you got to water the bhakti creeper. Otherwise, you'll water the fruit of desire. You become passionate, and then you won't be attracted to watering the baby. The baby gets covered over. See? And then in some lifetimes, choppers and spades have to be, you have to get the mercy of some other devotees. David, this is truly an education in the science of self-realization. You are the kindly professor who can plug us into the source. Yeah, the juice that I've heard about for over 40 years without seeing it. Yeah, you heard about it, but you didn't see it. Got to see it, man. Otherwise, you're not hearing right. You're hearing from like the Tripurari. I mean, he's intellectual, and he, speaks about the verse, Raganuga probably, and all that stuff. But he doesn't have attraction. It's like that guy who wrote. He wrote a book on Raganuga Bhakti, and he doesn't even like Raganuga devotees or spontaneous devotees. What good is their teaching? It's not experienced. Here you see the actual devotion, right? You see there's experience here. And then you hear the realizations and real revelations from an experienced professor, but not just professing, but just like the book was written by experienced devotee experiencing the mellows. Well, you're hearing them preached by somebody relishing those mellows and preaching the word. You got all the books. I don't need to be writing a bunch of books. Got enough books. I like to do this. See, this is the order of Prabhupada. He didn't say go write a bunch of books. I got his books, man. I got plenty of ammunition. I got more ammunition to deliver a whole universe. 10 times over. We can do look at these classes every day. Amazing. Always fresh, always new. That's how we're going to win over people. After a while, they're going to see it. How can they not? Too much exposure, It's like in a dark room. This is like a dark room. See, and then you take the negative, and you go into the the Sadhu Sangha is like the ingredients that we putting the negative through, and all of a sudden the picture gets clearer and clearer and clearer. But you got to do it. And so we're doing this in a dark room. This is like you didn't know it was a photographer, making this another hat photographer, just going through with the negative is starting to becoming more and more the picture, the real picture of devotional service comes into focus after a while. Oh, it's not just a negative. It's not a black and white. It's a real colorful thing. Yeah. So what else we got? Lalitas also includes accept purification. Yeah.
Disengagement includes to accept what's happening, what Guru under your leadership.
Do what now?
Disengagement. And you should engage. It means you receive this seed of bhakti from this moment, you accept what Krishna is arranging for you, with the situations that he is arranging, etc., etc.
Yeah. Yeah, especially this one. Yeah. We don't want to lose any babies. I mean, that's why I say, some people may not like it, but I wish I would have said some of these things before or knew, but it's all in due course. Yeah. So, I think what we'll do is, because I know you didn't do your class, and maybe you'll, I know. Yeah.
This is also my class.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's yours, but
Yeah.
I'm happy here.
No, I think it's your class. It's our class. Our class. It's a we thing. Yeah. Krishna and the devotees class. Yeah. But anyway, I feel like spent enough. So maybe if you want to go on, you go on, and then I'll listen. You can go into your kunj.
Thank you.
Okay, my friends. Yeah, we had 17 people here. That's pretty good for an extra early class. So Lolita will probably, you think you'll go on or what? Yeah, so
Give me
she'll
15 minutes. Give me 50 minutes.
yeah,
I
yeah,
need
yeah,
to do
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so Lolita will go on in 15 minutes, all you 17 persons. And yeah, you can watch that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Later on, you can figure out how to do lives on. Nah, that's probably too much for you. You can do TikTok also at the same time.
I can't on my phone then. Put my phone there.
Yeah. See, like I do it. See the. Oh, let's see.
I still did not figure out how to do it for longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah. There's a yeah. It maybe they gave you the thing or not. I don't know. Because I don't know if I had it right away. If you go on, if you keep making a few videos here and there, they'll put that
Ah,
thing on there
okay.
live.
Yeah.
But if you see Freddie sometime, ask him, see if that live thing is on there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. We'll see you in a bit.
Hare Krishna.